So this is what the Power BI interface looks like. So what exactly is this interface used for? First and foremost, you have these panes here. When you click on File, you'll see it shows you the reports you've created. Now, I've created plenty of those here. You can save them. You can even click on Get Data to basically connect to different data sources. You can import and export your existing files. You can publish them to the Power BI service where you can have your reports, or rather your dashboards, created, and you have other options as well. You can even click on Get Started to basically get information about Power BI. So let's not do that. Let's just go back for now. There's another option here, Get Data, as you can see. So this is where you can import data from different sources into your Power BI. So I'm just going to go ahead and import a certain set of information for now that can be used later on. So let's just go ahead and import an Excel file. I think I should have an Excel data store. Yes, I have a data set here with me. Superstore is the name of the data set. And once I click on it, it should be able to import that data for me and show me how to actually go ahead and put this data in. So you see, the navigator understood that these are the different data sources in the sheet I just imported. I can just click on these, telling it, okay, import data from all these 3 files. I'm going to say load. You can transform the data if you want, but you can do that later as well. We're not going to do that because this is a fairly edited sheet that we have with us. And just like that, guys, our data will be imported. You see, there's orders, there's people, and there's returns. So it will be importing data from all these 3 aspects, or all these 3 features that we have on update. Has it imported? Yes, the data has been imported. You see, you can see it on the right-hand side, and you get all the categories of data that have been imported. How do we create visualizations in Power BI? Now, there are plenty of options for you to do that. One way is you can either double-click on the column name that you have. Another way is you can first select a visualization like this and then put in values there. Or you can first select values here and then choose a visualization to fit your needs. By default, Power BI will suggest certain visualizations that it thinks are best to represent a particular set of information. So you can choose either option if you want to. Let's try going through the visualization process and see how it works for us. So to start with, let's try to visualize some data. What I'm going to do is pick up the order date, okay? And while I do that, I'm going to go ahead and add my profits. You see, so it shows me profits for however many years are included. With Power BI, you can immediately adjust all the profit and other details you want right here. All your graphs can be resized to fit your needs, and you can actually look into the values however you want. Now, what you see here is the profits for the following years, right? It's what? 13, 14, 15. So it's pretty old data, but that's okay. It's just for demo purposes, so we shouldn't overthink these things. How do we go about this drilling down process here? Now, let's say you want to look at the data by drilling down. Can we drill down? Yes. So let me click here. So we should have gotten values. Yeah, there you go. So it has drilled down now. And you can see the data's there according to the quarters we have. Right. So it's Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So now the data here is divided into quarters. If I go back, it would give me yearly data. And if I click on this, it would give me both quarterly and yearly data together, the final one. So it's merging all the views that are available. So you see Q1, Q2, Q3 for 2013, and similarly for 2014. Right. And this is how it looks in Power BI. You can actually have marked labels as well. If you want to see the values, you can just hover over it and you'll get the value. If you click on this particular thing, it'll show you. Okay, I actually accidentally clicked somewhere else. So it just changed the axis for the data, which is not what I wanted. So I'm going to remove it from here for now. I'm just going to go back and put the data in again. So order date is what I have, and I have the profit here with me, right? Now if I just come here and put this information in a corner, let's try to create some other visualizations as well. I'm going to go ahead and pick this visualization, and I'll show you how Power BI works. So now I'm just going to expand this information, whatever's here. I want a bigger chart for this. And again, let me just go ahead and add profit, and let's see if we can add something else. What else can we add? Let's add sales. You see, for the total sales, the profit we had was limited. And if I click on the profit that I want to see, it's represented by this. If I click here, this is what I'll get. But this isn't one of the best visualizations I'd want. Let's just come here and add order date here. Now, if I click on this particular item, it will highlight that specific graph in the other visualization I have. So you can do that too, right? Let's say you want to find out profit based on the subcategory you have. So I'm going to remove the order date for now and go ahead and select my subcategory option here. I can drag and drop it and it will still show me the same information. Now let's just go ahead and click on this particular value. You see? So what this shows is that copiers had this much profit, and for every year, this is the amount. So there was an increase in copier profits, and it was a pretty good rise. If I come here and click on it, the profit is $49,543, right? If I come here, it's $61,618. This year, it's $81,726, and in this particular year, it's $93,507. So basically, if I compare it with this value, the profit has almost doubled, right? So this is how you can actually go ahead and track your data in many different ways using Power BI. Again, let's say you want to play around with the colors you have. You can do that in the axes. You can also play around with a lot of other things. We'll drill down further, but for now, let's just come here and play with the data. Colors. Can I change the colors? Let's say I want to have a different color for my graphs. If I select this and just change the color here, let's say I want pink, then all of this will change or have a different color. And you can see all of it is reflected here. Besides that, if you want to do other things, you can actually go ahead and play around with it. Do you want borders here? Do you want backgrounds? Do you want to add images in the background? You can do that. Why do we need to add images in the background? What purpose does that serve for me? Let's say I use images in the background. In that case, the benefit I get from adding those images in the background is, let's say I'm presenting a report for a particular company. Let's say I want to have that company's logo there. I can do that. Let's say I'm creating an IPL dashboard. So in that case, if I add a background of the IPL trophy or maybe all the IPL teams together, and I make it a bit lighter by reducing its transparency, then whatever is on top will get highlighted while still having a subtle IPL themed background. So you can actually go ahead and do all these things here, right? So this is how you go ahead and create visualizations in Power BI. Let's move ahead, or rather go to the next page and create other types of visualizations that we can think of. So let me just go ahead and use this. This is a geographic graph, and since it's a geographic graph, I'm going to go ahead and put in profit here. So this will take some time to load because it's a geographic graph. Sometimes it takes more time than expected. And let's just talk about profits by state. Are we getting any information here? Yeah, there you go. So there's some information here. This is not, again, the best of visualizations that you could have used. Let's see if we can reflect any information here. Right. For that, I'm going to go ahead and put in my sales. Okay, again, not the best of visuals. So let's just uncheck all of this information that we have with us. Right, and I'm going to just go ahead and remove this for now. The reason I'm doing that is I'll tell you that. Let's assume you put in states here. Okay, you see, it is giving you information about different states that are there. So these are the different states. Now let us come here and add certain values. If I add states to the legend, it'll give different colors to it. If I add it to latitude, again, there should not be any change here. But instead, let's just go ahead and add profit now. Let's see if we get any profit here. Yeah, it's there. So basically, you see New York is the one that had a good chunk of profit, right? Similarly here, California also has a good amount of profit. What this suggests is 2 of the major states in the country had a surplus amount of profit. And it is understandable. These are the bigger states or the more industrious states in the country. So basically, again, you can create visualizations depending on how you want to deal with it. Right. Let's assume that I come back to my previous table or sheet, and here I put in this thing. This is a card value. So if I click on the card value and put my profit here, it will give me the profit. Right? So this is the profit we had in total. Okay, let's assume that I want to filter it. Can I do that? Yes. So what are the filter conditions that we can have here? Okay, we cannot apply a filter condition to this. Maybe we can to this one. Let's try and filter it out. So whatever the profit is, let's assume the maximum profit here right now is $4,452. Right, so let's put forth details saying that whatever profit is below $30,000. Okay, not a great filter. We'll add filters later. But I hope the idea or the gist is clear to you. And when you talk about a card image, it will give you values based on the other visualizations that you have. So you can always have highlighters added here or there. And this is how the visualizations look when you create visualizations using Power BI. So we've seen a line chart before, we've seen a pie chart, now we've seen a bar graph as well. So this is how you actually go ahead and create visualizations. And there are plenty of options here for you to choose from. If you want global information, you can come here and just click on this globe, and you can have information represented globally as well if you want to. So if you put the state here, you'll have a global representation of the information we just worked on. So you can use these. You can use these if you want. So it depends on your usage, what you're trying to use, and how you're trying to play around with the data. There are plenty of things you can look into, right? But when you create a report, so you've created a report here, you can publish it. Let's try and do that. Let's say this report is demo report or GLA. Let's just hit save. Now it would ask me, do you want to open it or where do you want to save it? To start with, save it in my workspace. For this, you'll need your email ID, so make sure you have one. So publishing it to Power BI means it'll be uploaded to the Power BI server when it's published. This is also where you'll need an internet connection, so when you click on it, it should open that report for you. There you go. This is the report that we created. Now, since it is published, you can't just come here and make whatever changes you want. You can interact with it, but you can't go ahead and make changes here. Now, this is a report, but I want to publish it to a dashboard. So in a dashboard, you're going to go ahead and add certain visuals that you have, right? Dashboards are basically a single canvas where you can also bring in data from different reports. To give you some context, you see, there are quite a few reports that I've created so far, so let me just check if there are reports here in my workspace. There you go. So these are some older dashboards that I have, and these are multiple reports that I have with me. So what I'm going to do now is try to create a dashboard where I'll pick some random reports some random reports. And from those reports, I'll pick some random visualizations that I'll add to a single canvas to one dashboard. So let's pick one demo report. GL is the first one that we created today, right? So let's just click on this, and let's say I want this graph. So I'm going to select it, and I'm going to say, pin it to a dashboard. What is the dashboard? I'll just create a new one. Let's call it GLA, Power BI. And I'm going to say pin it here. You want to go to the dashboard? Please do that. You see, there's this visualization. And again, now you can't agbob it. Okay, you can't make changes to it. You can go back to the report where it was created. You click here and it'll take you back to the report. Right. So I'm going to go back again to my workspace. And here I'm going to go to the report. This time I'm going to pick a random report. Let's say report 1. And I'm going to go ahead and pick this pie chart. I'm going to say pin it where? To the dashboard. Which one? GLA Power BI. So if I go, it says, do you want to create a phone view? If you create a phone view, you can send these to your mobile app and view them there as well. Okay, so this is how you do it. The icon went away though. So I'm going to go back to the reports in the workspace. I'm going to go to the dashboards that I have, and GLA Power BI is the one I'm going to open. You see, I picked up another visual from a different report. And now in this report, we have two different visuals with this, right? So this is how you actually go ahead and create reports in Power BI, or rather dashboards, not reports. These are dashboards. So this is how you create dashboards in Power BI. Bye. And in Power BI, you can also go ahead and ask questions to the data that you have. Okay, so let's assume that I'm in Q&A and I'm going to check if I come back here. You see, this is the profit that we have. So I'm going to ask a question. Way back in the year 2014. Okay, so it's opening a table for me. I don't want that. I just want the profit. It says blank. That is not possible. Let's just go back here and check. My profit in 2014 was $61,618. So let's just say profit. Okay, I know this is a bit irritating, but let's try to work through it together. The year we're talking about here is 2014, which is also known as 2014. The number in question is 62.88K, which stands for 62,880. There you go. So it's about that much. I'm not sure why it's giving a different value, but it's about right, isn't it? So this is how you can ask questions to your Power BI data, and you can do all sorts of things with it. So this is how you create different visualizations in Power BI.
If you enjoyed this video, you can enroll in Great Learning Academy for free. Choose from hundreds of courses across multiple domains and earn a certificate of completion along the way. And if you want to take it a step further, you can try Great Learning Academy Pro Plus with a free trial. It provides access to additional premium courses with more advanced content from distinguished faculty, along with features like guided projects, a resume builder, and mock interviews to make your learning journey even richer. Link is in the description.